Okay, so this activity would occur or would happen on day 4. So after you've done the fusion machine for day 1, day 2, and day 3, then you might choose to do this activity. So what I call this is make and break the code. So in this case, you will need the ones, ooh, hi, falling all over the place, the ones, the tens, the hundreds, these hundreds, and you will also need either just a regular dice or a regular die, or so and one per. So this activity will be done in partners. So each kid needs a dice, a die. So you can do just a regular die, or you can do a 0. Make sure it's a 0 to 9 die. Either will work. Okay, and the way this activity starts is each student will have a fusion machine. So both students have a fusion machine, and there will be one scoring card. And the students will sit beside each other. So basically, they're going to roll the die, and then the objective is to try and make the biggest number possible. So here I did a 4, so I'm going to put that maybe in my tens position, because I'm going to hope for a 6. Okay, I got a 3. I'm going to put that in my ones position. Oh, I didn't do so well. And then I put that in my twos position. Now it's up to you if you want to let them erase and rearrange those same 3 numbers in order to get the biggest number. But that's up to you. But let's just leave it as is for right now. And then the student will have to build. So 2 hundreds, 4 tens, and 3 ones. Okay, so 243. And player 2 will also have something like this, but obviously a different number. So then what you do is the 2 players would compare to see who has the biggest number. Now let's assume I did not do very well. So let's assume that player 2 had, 551 or something like that. So then the other player 2, would get 1 point. Sorry, I would get 1 point because I built correctly. Player 2 would get 1 point for building correctly and also 1 point for having the biggest number. So they would actually get 2 points. Okay, so then we would go again. Okay, and so I'd clear the board, erase what I have here, and go again. Okay, so rolling the dice. So 3, I'm going to put that in my ones position. 1, oh, I'm going to put definitely that in my tens position. Oh, 2, once again, I didn't do great. Okay, so, and then I would build it. So 213. Okay. So, and then you would compare the player 1 and player 2 numbers, and once again, well, let's say I had the bigger number this time, and so I'd get 2 points and the other person would get 1 point. So, yeah, they would not be penalized for, make this very clear that they're not penalized if they build incorrectly. They can retry until they build it correctly. So every time they're gonna get at least 1 point for building correctly, because obviously, you just want them to understand the comparison between the code and the build. So, so that is the first game. So you're always looking for build the biggest number. A variation to that would be to build the smallest number, or and another variation would be a target number. So let's say I set my target number for 300. Okay, and then I would try and get as close to 300. This is not erasing very well here. Anyways, sorry about that. Okay, so try and get my biggest number. So I got 6. So I actually definitely don't want to put that here. I could put it in the middle one or this one. I'm going to leave that as my 1. Could have done it as my tens. Ooh, okay, I'm going to do that as my 10. Oh, and that is my 5. Okay. So 566 is not very close to 300. So I would compare, well, actually first I'd have to build. So build so 5 100s, 6 10s, and 6 1s. Okay, so 566. I'm going to guess that I did not win that. So in this case, I would only get 1 point, and player 2 would get 2 points because chances are they were closer to 300 than I was. Okay, so that is the game. Let me know. So you can actually even go into the thousands if you wanted to then add on the thousands to that and do a target number for that. This is essentially a variation of the Enrich game, Nice and Nasty. If you look on the Enrich website and look up Nice and Nasty, this is sort of a variation in which you build. So I'm connecting the build to the number. Yeah. There's also another one where you could have a discard. So if I rolled a 6 and I go, oh, I really don't want a 6, I can only once discard that number and roll again. So yeah, anyways, let me know how it goes.